Hello again from my front porch and my favorite pizza place, Pie 5, with my favorite pizza guy, Pizza Steve.
I appreciate it. Good to see you again.
And look, I am here in Pie 5, eating the Pie 5 pizza, sitting at a table in Pie 5. Yes, because here in Iowa, the governor has allowed for restaurants to open up, but under some restrictions, under some guidelines. And here at Pie 5, they're doing a great job of implementing these things so that the great food can be consumed in the great place, made by the great people, by the great customers.
It's so good to have people sitting in here again. I can't tell you, it's been a good day so far.
Well, and I was up here several times during the time where you couldn't have people sitting in here, and it was a little bit weird because the people with the whole spacing thing, but then also keeping in mind about the standing line and the lines. I don't know. It seemed to me the lines were longer. Because people
crazy.
weren't just going up and ordering and then sitting down and waiting. Everyone's just standing around and stuff. But then at the same time, everyone's standing around, but they're like, well, but we can't be standing too close. And it was just weird. It was awkward.
Very weird, and not the Pie 5 way. That's for sure. It was.
Maybe it was still good pizza. It's always been good pizza, but still.
It's a little bit of wait, a little frustrating at times, but we got through it.
Yeah. Well, and so Steve, talk a little bit about what kind of things are you doing now to make sure make sure everybody's safe and stuff.
What we're doing here, I always tell everybody we've always been safe here. We've always take extra precaution because
I gotta make sure I get you actually on there more than me. There we go.
Right. We've always been careful cleaning things, gluten-free, and all the allergy stuff. So we're just taking that extra step. We sanitize very often. Every time somebody gets up and leaves, right away we're out there sanitizing everything. We have all these stuff that's not wrapped is all put away. We have to personally get that for you with our gloves. And hand that out.
And when they were making my pizza today, they were all wearing the gloves and stuff.
And we're changing them very often, And then after we change our gloves, we're going over and washing our hands. Announce that we're washing our hands. That way the guests can hear that. We have all our signage out. We have.
I know you have your spaced seating. So that the tables are spread apart. You've got some tables put away, and chairs put away and stuff, and then the booths. They're every other booth flag.
Got little stickers
got
on
these
the floors.
got these little signs right here too, where even this big long thing. Some people can sit here, and then some can sit down there.
Yeah, actually, you can see them right here. So so this you can sit over here, you can sit over here, so you get your distance.
And it's not more than just the sign in this case to keep you away. This underneath the table here is one of the tables. You can't quite see it from this angle, but it's right here. And if I scoot over anymore, ow!
That's right. That keeps you away from the next guy next to you. So I'm hoping, I really don't want to put all this stuff in my garage.
Yeah.
So that way we just keep it up here. Because hopefully we'll be able to open up soon. But no, we're wiping the doors down every time people come in and out. Just your normal stuff we should be doing, but just doing it more often.
Well, and that is interesting. Some people talk about the frustration of the extra things that now have to be done, and I'm sure that there is some additional burden that goes along with that, especially for those preparing food for sale and stuff. But by the flip side, there is some of it. Personally, I think some of it might be a little over precaution, but people will agree to disagree on some things.
Exactly.
But some of the things maybe aren't such a bad thing. Maybe some of the things we should have been,
like my sanitizer deals. I should have had them from day one.
So like when you come stand in line over here, I don't know if you can see it from here. Well, it's in the shop back there, I think. Way back over there somewhere. but just as you're going to get in line, he's got the hand sanitizer thing right there. You're in line as you're leaving. You can do some good things.
I like the one at the end too, because that way you're transferring credit cards, transferring money. If you don't feel comfortable, take a little shot at the end of the line.
So of hand sanitizer.
Yes, not a shot of
Yeah, let's be clear what kind of shots they're doing.
I was working. That's another frustrating thing. I was working on alcohol, getting my alcohol license, and then all this stuff hit. So that's been on hold.
Oh yeah, I can see where that might throw a wrinkle.
Sometimes need a few shots.
But not while you're on duty.
That's right. Not while you're working. Never.
Now, one thing I do want to, because I know that this is an area of frustration for you. But one thing that I do want to talk about, because I've seen it not just here but in other places too, is everybody's stress is being pushed to the limits right now, and stress. That stress causes people to sometimes react in ways that they normally wouldn't. Unfortunately, there are some people who actually normally would just be a jerk, and under stress, they're even that much bigger of a jerk. And they make sure everybody else around knows how big of a jerk they actually are.
That is what's very, very hard for me, because you know as well as most everybody probably watching this, I really care about what we do.
Yeah.
And when I get that 1-star or 2-star review, yes, I know I get 10 or 20 of them, 5 stars. I get that, and I appreciate those too. But you get that 1 or 2-star for a first-time customer during this time. It's like you don't even know what Pi 5 is really about. You've never experienced the real Pi 5, and it's just frustrating.
Well,
but
not to air all the dirty laundry of stuff, but I was telling Steve an example of a restaurant that I ate at yesterday. It was a fast food restaurant. Technically, Pi 5 is a fast food restaurant.
Yep.
Technically, because the 5 means it's cooked in 5 minutes, so it's technically fast food. But this other place I was at, and it had absolutely horrible customer service, and we weren't even being jerks. But it was horrible. Now, maybe the customer service was horrible because they were stressed, because other people had been jerks to them, and I don't know. But what's really sad is that right now, the fact that people still keep trying to eat at places, even before you opened up for seating, means that people still wanted the food. They still needed the food to be prepared by somebody. And so then they call up and they say, hey, I want to get it, or they just come in and they say, hey, I want this. And then they get all jerky about this. Don't do that, people. These people like poor Steve here. I'm not gonna. This is not a pity party for Steve.
It's not.
But Steve here, he's a good guy, and he takes care of his customers. He takes care of his employees, and really tries to produce a good quality product and succeeds. But then something like this virus comes up, big curveball. Makes it very difficult to satisfy all of those groups, and yet at the same time, increasingly you have the customers coming in that are expecting you to function exactly the way you did, or even better, than before this all happened. And it's like, okay, no, people, you have to understand. We all have to adapt to certain things, and includes the people making your food.
Exactly.
Give them a little slack.
And it's going to take a little extra time, and that's what's frustrating is a new guest comes in here, and it may not look like we're busy, but we got a stack of 50 online orders down there that we're trying to get done. We might not have a line, but everything's online ordering. So
now, have you seen a big increase in the online ordering?
The online ordering, yes, we've seen a huge increase, and that's what makes it tough, is because you got the stack of online orders, and then you have people that come in that want taken care of right away.
Yeah, and they don't understand you've got 10 other orders lined up in front of them that you're trying to prepare.
So we try our best.
And again, when I've been in here before, when it was just exclusive to go takeout stuff, I would be standing there waiting for mine, and the DoorDash people, the Uber Eats, the Grubhub, whatever, all those folks come in, and some of them expecting to pick up multiple orders, and so then if you have somebody who's standing in the lobby who's getting all upset, how come you're not taking care of me right away? Well, if you elevate that person to the front of the line, well, now you've got this Uber Eats guy that shows up, and he's got 3 people waiting.
A lot of restaurants are learning new ways to run a restaurant, and that's what people got to understand. Yes, I know it's 5 minutes, but it might take 7. I'm sorry.
It's still worth it.
So,
I'm biased, yes, but I don't care. It is still worth it.
It is still worth it, but we're getting there. We're working on it. Getting new members. I've had to train 4 new people during this time. I mean, that's tough. Not only trying to do this, you're trying to train new people. I'm learning quick. I'm very proud because I've been here 2 years and my doors are still open.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was actually had this conversation regarding my own work. Now, I work for a construction company, and construction job sites for the most part have not shut down anywhere as a result of this. There are few isolated instances where there have been issues, and certainly if there was a sudden outbreak in a city somewhere, then that changed the rules a bit. But for the most part, construction job sites have not shut down. However, there are individual construction workers who, because of themselves or their family members, were afraid to come into work, and so they wouldn't, and so now you still have to do the construction job with fewer people, and so now there's extra pressure and stress. And then, but we were just having this conversation earlier today that this whole COVID situation, it's like have you ever watched the show Bar Rescue?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like this whole COVID time frame is like the ultimate stress test for businesses and companies, because it's like, okay, how do you turn the screws and then just turn it a little more?
I'm very proud of that too, because I'm very vocal. I don't hide anything, and I think I've only had 2 outbursts on my personal page since this whole pandemic thing. So I'm feeling pretty proud.
Now, how do you define outbursts? No.
Go friend request me and you'll see it. So.
No, that is true. Steve is a very upfront, honest guy. But again, I have to say that you were talking about, you get the lower scored reviews or the snide, nasty little comments and stuff. And if Steve if you have a bad experience, well, first of all, Steve wants you to just tell him in person. He'll make it right like that. But even if you have a bad experience and you post that I have a bad experience, he'll still try to work it out with you and make it right. But if you just post something and say they sucked, they were no good, then that's a problem for Steve.
It's a little tough.
Because Steve, to a large extent, you take it personal.
I do.
And he takes it personal because Pie 5 is an extension of Pizza Steve.
That's right.
And when you come in to get his pizza, he's serving you. He's not just cranking out a pizza to give to a customer for money. He's making pizza for you. And so if you then turn around and smack him, he's like, whoa, wait a minute, because that's the way it comes off. And so that's I think, to your credit that you were that personally invested in wanting to make sure you take care of people.
And that's another positive thing about my social media following is that if somebody sees something like that, they're on it right away and they're like, no, there's something wrong, because that's not the way he is. So they do a lot of the work for me. So
unless he starts talking about Iowa State.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
You know how the Iowa fans are.
Oh, there we go. Now they're going to boycott this too.
No, they love it. They love it. So. But no, I appreciate everything you do, and I was just going to say, you know me just almost as good as I know myself, because a lot of the things you said are 100% true. So it's not about the money, because if it was about the money, my doors would be closed.
But the money is kind of important to keep the doors open.
It is,
and to keep the people employed making the pizza.
It is.
And there is a financial reality to all of this that I think a lot of people lose sight of during this time too. Is they don't understand why. Okay, now if the governor says we can lift restrictions, well then boom, everything should just be back to normal. And everyone's like, but places like you've endured a lot of financial hardship during these last couple of months, and there are some places that have already announced they're not even going to reopen. That they're just done. But just because the switch is flipped and people can come in and sit back down, that doesn't mean that, hey, everything's good for Steve now. He's this.
It's still a struggle. Yeah. It's going to be for a while.
Yeah, you still got to make up the ground.
I still got to pay my rent.
Yep.
So. Yep. But we'll keep trying. We'll keep fighting. We're not going to give up. So either way, one way or another, we'll still be around.
It's good because if he gave up, then where would I get my pizza?
That's right. That's right. I have to make it for you in my garage. I don't know.
Well, as long as there's a cauliflower crust.
There we go. There we go. So.
All right. Well, I always enjoy chatting with you. And by the way, you can trust what we say. He is being honest. even though he just happens to be wearing the Pinocchio shirt today.
Oh,
But you'll notice
My nose ain't
his
going.
nose did not grow, so he's good.
I get it both ways. Some people say, hey, you know, you got a big mouth, you say way too much. But you know what? I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to be ashamed of.
Nobody
I'm
ever
proud
has to
of
wonder
we've
about
done.
what does Pizza Steve
I'm
think.
proud of what we've done in 2 years, you know, and I'm a small business owner, and I'm still open right now, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
Good job.
So, thank you.
Now I'm gonna have to go hand
Well, go
sanitize.
sanitize.
All right. Well, thanks, Steve, for
Yep,
taking
thank
some
you.
time to chat with me. I know
Appreciate it.
things keep being busy, and so
Yeah, today was a good day. We just see you guys later. Just set it on top there. We'll get it. All right. Thank you.
see, I just know that he likes to say thank you to everybody before they leave. So I wanted you to feel free to do that.
I appreciate
All right.
it. Appreciate it.
All right. So with that.
Oh, Judd. Who's back there? I see Judd.
They all want to be on camera. See,
That's
they're all
right.
wandering around, wanting to look like they're actually working.
I'll tell you what, I could not do it without these guys I have with me now. I couldn't. And I have some of the best kids that you'll find in Ankeny, Iowa. So I appreciate them. So
Well, I'm sure that you make them work hard, but they should feel good about working at a place that with a leader who really is so personally invested in wanting them to be successful.
I appreciate it. Yep.
All right. Well, with that, speaking of the people leaving there, I'm gonna let you leave too, and I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.